6. When my senses return, which closed themselves off from pity of those two kindred who stunned me with complete sadness, I see around my new torments. I see around me new torments, and new tormented souls. Wherever I move or turn, wherever I gaze, I am in the third circle of eternal, accursed, cold, and heavy rain. Its kind and quality is never new. Large hail, tainted water, and sleet pour down through the shadowy air, and the earth that receives it is putrid. Cerberus, the fierce and strange monster, triple-throated, barks dog-like over the people submerged in it. His eyes are crimson, his beard is foul and black, his belly vast, and his limbs are clawed. He snatches the spirits, flays and quarters them. The rain makes them howl like dogs. They protect one flank with the other, often writhing, the miserable wretches. When Cerberus, the great worm, saw us, he opened his jaws and showed his fangs. Not a limb of his remained still. My guide stretched out his hands, scooped up earth, and hurled it in fistfuls into his ravening mouth, like a dog that whines for food and grows quiet when he eats it, only fighting and struggling to devour it. So did demon Cerberus's loathsome muzzles, which barked like thunder at the spirits so that they wished they were dead. We passed over the shades, which the heavy rain subdues, and placed on our feet on each empty space that seems a body. They were all lying on the ground but one, who sat up immediately when he saw us crossing in front of him. He said to me, "Oh, you who are led through this inferno, recognize me if you can. You were made before I was unmade." And I said to him, "The anguish you suffer conceals you perhaps from my memory, so that it seems as if I never knew you. But tell me who you are, lodged so sadly and undergoing such punishment that though there are others greater, none is so unpleasant." And he to me, "Your city, Florence, is so full of envy it overflows, but held me in the clear life. Your citizens called me Chiaco. And for the damnable sin of gluttony, I languish, as you see beneath the rain. Nor am I the only wretched spirit, since although these are punished likewise for the same sin." I answered him, "Chiaco, your affliction weighs on me, inviting me to weep, but tell me if you can what citizens of that divided city will come to, if any there are just, and the reason why such discord tears it apart." And he to me, "After a long struggle, they will come to blood, and the whites, the party of the woods, will throw out the blacks with great violence. Within 3 years, then it must happen. The blacks will conquer, with the help of him who now maneuvers around. That party will hold its head high for a long time, weighing the whites down with under heavy oppression. However they weep, and however ashamed they are, 2 men are just but are not listened to. Pride, envy, and avarice are the 3 burning coals that have set all hearts on fire. Here he ended the mournful prophecy, and I said to him, I want you to instruct me still and grant me a little more speech. Tell me where Farinata and Tegiaio are, for who are worthy enough, and Jacopo and Restacucci and Arrigo Mosca, and the rest who set their minds to doing good. Let me know of them, for a great longing urges me to discover whether heaven soothes them or hell poisons them. And he to me, they are among the blackest spirits, for another crime weighs them to the bottom. If you descend deep enough, you may see them. But when you are back again in the sweet world, I beg you to recall me to other minds. I tell you no more, and no more will I answer. At that he turned his fixed gaze askance, and looked at me a while, and then bent his head and lowered himself, and it among his blind companions. And my guide said to me, he will not stir further until the angelic trumpet sounds. When the power opposing evil will come, each will revisit his sad grave, resume his flesh and form, and hear what will resound through eternity. So we passed over the foul brew of rain and shadows with slow steps, speaking a little of the future life. Of this I asked, Master, will those torments increase after the great judgment, or lessen, or stay as fierce? And he to me, remember your science, which says that the more perfect a thing is, the more it feels pleasure and pain. Though these accursed ones will never achieve true perfection, they will be nearer to it after than before. We circled along that road, and speaking of much more than I count, and then came to the place where the descent begins. There we found Plutus, the god of wealth, the great enemy.